You got Tyrese facts?
Tyrese? Who?
Facts.
What do you mean? Like I know his general story, how much is paid.
All right, whatever you say, brother.
What's his first movie?
Maybe more.
That's his first movie ever?
Yeah.
What's his first? How you gonna quiz this dude on Tyrese facts?
Let me get some of these.
Wait, did you really just quiz him on Tyrese?
This motherfucker's the resident Tyrese expert.
Okay, what? Welcome to the Millennial Classics with Swadik Mayanja and Mumbari Makaya.
How's it going?
Hello. On this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events from our generation. But sometimes, when very important classics come to mind, come to the soul, come to the show, we bring on a special guest. And today's special guest, a dear friend,
our resident Tyrese expert.
Facts on facts. Mumbunga Makaya. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
It would have been great to be on the Emperor's New Groove podcast.
If you start this petty.
Yeah, right? We can only go up from there, Mumburi. All right, so we're just gonna jump in. So Mumburi, tell us. This is heartwarming. I mean, maybe I say this every goddamn time, but I have to tell you guys, Millennial Classics is a goddamn godsend to the culture. We're just reminding you of the greatness that used to be. All right, we're bringing it back to the front. So Mumburi, please remind these folks of the art, the piece of art, the magic that is the classic we're gonna do today. What are we doing?
So, a little bit of a left turn right here, but I actually don't think this is a certified Millennial Classic. I think this is
and he's wrong with that.
I think this is an honorable mention. So this is what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do. We're not. No, Mumbunga. Thank you for coming.
No. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna talk about why it could be, why it's like just below a Millennial Classic, and then I'm gonna let you guys obviously argue with me, right? But obviously, you can tell I got outvoted on this one.
Oh, so, already done and done. But but I have to say this is a really good thing that we're doing. So early on, because it helps us define how we define what a Millennial Classic is. So I appreciate that. And this is a left turn. But tell the folks, Mumburi, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
So we are doing Too Fast, Too Furious, which, as names of movies go, it's pretty iconic.
It is fantastic.
It tells you right away what's going to happen, right?
What number in the series this is.
Exactly.
And really...
And the duo, the whole thing about them being a pair is like, it's fantastic. It's Too Fast, Too Furious. It's Roman and Brian. It's perfect.
Yeah. And if you didn't like the first movie because you thought they just drive in straight lines, this is the movie for you. If you were like, all right, I just watched Race Wars for 15 minutes and these guys just drive in straight lines and push buttons, then this is the movie for you.
Right. There was one nice flip at the end of the first movie.
And then when you talk about the Fast and Furious franchise, I mean, it's pretty much unrecognizable.
Of course.
Right now.
Right?
Like, they don't even bother racing any. Like, they'll throw in a race.
Okay, you stop. You're giving us... Okay. Yes, there's so much...
Am I spoiling Fast 8 for you? I'm sorry.
No. It's not that you're spoiling Fast 8. I'm just saying...
I'm bringing it back, all right? That's why...
go ahead.
So, when I say they've taken it everywhere, this is pretty much the peak racing culture point of the series.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? And they still have the undercover story, and there are holes in this. And this isn't a perfect movie, obviously.
There are no holes in this movie.
There are very big holes to this movie.
No, they explained everything very well.
And there's a lot of stuff, obviously, that doesn't make sense. But I think this is an honorable mention. But you guys, right now, tell 100%. Me why this is a certified classic.
Well, first of all, you got the chemistry on 100,000%.
Yes, preach.
Tyrese, Paul Walker, The bad guy, I forget his name.
Iconic.
He never reached a higher point past this movie.
Carter Verone is the name of the bad guy.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wait. You mean who hasn't reached a higher point after this movie?
The bad guy.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Cole Hauser.
Cole Hauser.
Mm-hmm.
Eva Mendes looking her baddest.
Baddest. I was really disappointed. Maybe we'll get to this a little later, but I thought they should have had like a hookup scene. Like I feel like I
jumped from like flirting at the club to then
right?
like it's not in his house.
Right?
I thought they skipped a scene.
That's what I thought too. Maybe Netflix jumped some stuff.
If you're nitpicking this early in the podcast, this isn't a class.
I was just saying I wanted to see her with the little, I would have liked to see the sex scene. I thought there was a sex scene. I was so excited for the sex scene the entire movie, but it never happened. Maybe it's my memory that got me all torqued, but I thought it was gonna happen. I watched this movie 100 times before.
All right, so tell us what was happening when we came out in June 6th, 2003.
All right, so in 2003, some big things happened in 2003. Let me remind y'all, Apple launches iTunes for the first time, 10 million songs within the first 4-month launch.
So that's when my computer started to slow down.
Of course. Fun fact, because the Neverland, whatever just came out, this was when Michael Jackson was booked on suspicion of multiple counts of child molestation. Yes, we'll go way back, all the way back then. The 5th Harry Potter book just came out, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected governor of California. Things were happening in America that I don't think I was all for, I was all against, but this was the America we were living at the time. Time travel back to 2003, so you guys know what was brewing around this movie. So let's jump right on in, because obviously there's a little bit of tension when it comes to this movie, especially on the Burry side. But let's start off on the good note. When I first said Too Fast, Too Furious, when we decided Too Fast, Too Furious, and let's start with the guest, Mumbungo. The first thing that came to mind before you rewatched it when we mentioned we were doing Too Fast, Too Furious.
First thing came to mind, of course, was how Tyrese absolutely murders this movie.
Yes.
From start to finish.
Every scene. Literally every scene. I swear to God, it's like the greatest thing ever. And if I were Tyrese, I would be bitter that The Rock got a movie before he got his own Too Fast and the Furious movie. This movie was him like as great as ever. As ever.
Yeah, even the director said that he ad-libbed a lot of his lines.
You're right. I'm seeing this wrong. I didn't know Tyrese was Daniel Day-Lewis. You're right. This is my bad. I didn't see that. Listen.
Well, he rattles off a couple of good movies after Too Fast, Too Furious. He does Fly the Phoenix, Four Brothers, Annapolis, and then he goes into Transformers.
All those movies are Redbox specials.
No.
Movies.
Four Brothers is the only good movie. Four Brothers. That was great.
Fly to the Phoenix is the movie you rent on Redbox, and then you make sure you give it back the next day, so you only pay $1.
Stop, bro.
No, you literally.
Let me ask you both the question. How much do y'all think Paul Walker and Tyrese were paid for this movie?
So I already know how much this movie made, like 200 million or something like
worldwide.
So I'm gonna guess, worldwide. But I'm gonna guess that Paul Walker was making. Like, this is the second movie. Like, this is not the greatest thing in the world. I'm saying maybe 2 million, and then Tyrese maybe $1 million.
Well, I'm not paying Tyrese $1 million. I paid Tyrese $500,000, and I'd pay Paul Walker $5 million.
All right. Well, their actual salaries was Paul Walker got $7 million.
Yep.
And Tyrese got $750,000.
So I was so close.
What?
I was so close. All right. So before
what?
But this is Tyrese's second ever movie, and it's the same.
And it shows
from Baby Boy.
Before we get, let's step way back and talk about our favorite parts of the movie.
No, Mumburi. I still need to know what you thought about. I'm sorry. I know we jumped around a million things, but Mumburi, before you rewatched it, what was the first thing that came to mind? Because you're so negative about it, I need to know what came to your mind when you first heard Too Fast, Too Furious was the next Millennial classic.
So when we were first having a conversation about a Fast and Furious movie that we should do, I initially thought we were gonna do Fast 3,
The worst of
Tokyo
all.
Drift,
Yes. Okay.
because of how it's kind of like it's the runt of the Fast family,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't even get invited. None of those
Just like
guys.
how you're the rest of the entire family.
That doesn't even make sense. I'm like older and bigger than you. It doesn't even make sense.
They're twins, by the way. If you guys are just listening, it's not when he says older, he really means like
5 minutes.
like, it's not like real older. It's
To
not
quote the great Vin Diesel, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Congratulations.
But so I thought we were gonna do Tokyo Drift, because I feel like that's more iconic than this movie. It's more.
You're really trading Tyrese for Bow Wow, and you're trading Paul Walker for generic white dude number 36.
But I'm trading Miami for Tokyo, and I feel like the music in that and the drifting sets it apart from all the other ones.
And why.
And then we talked about Fast 2. What I remember was the main characters were great. It's just the villain was just so bad.
Yeah, the villain was so bad, and you can't hate on the villain, but this movie is about the cars and the action. No one's coming here for the drama. If you want drama, this ain't you. It's not the right. It's not the right movie. It's a summertime action movie.
I'd argue villains are a big part of the Fast series. A huge part.
Of course, it is now because now they're spies and ninjas.
No, but in the first one, you had the Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, mano a mano.
Even in the last one, who was it? Charlize Theron. She was terrible. She didn't do anything.
It was the braids.
Okay, so before we move on, I'll tell you guys what I thought when I remember Fast and the Furious. All of the cars, I remember it being so much about cars. All I could remember was the purple car and the yellow car that was first popped into my mind. But like, maybe when I was a kid, maybe it was just what I was thinking at the time, but like my mindset at the time. But it was just like heaven. I mean, like the cars, the ladies, the music, Miami. I was like, this is
to Miami.
Yes. But yes, let's keep going. Mabari, favorite parts of the movie. Mambaga, as our guest, obviously you go first. What popped your favorite part, your favorite scene, favorite character, actor? What was the favorite? Your favorite?
Favorite actor, of course, has to be Tyrese.
Done and done.
He does get a lot of good lines in there. Favorite part of the movie, probably gonna be when Paul Walker goes to recruit Tyrese, and he's out there just smashing cars, getting one-liners in, and then they fight.
That was a really great introduction to a new character.
Yeah, and that whole section. I mean, so I'm a huge fan of getting the crew together.
Yes.
Parts of movies, whether it's like Ocean's 11, Fast 5, they have the music.
Yes.
And, all these movies that have the getting the crew together. And then on top, this has the getting the crew together, and it has the added bonus of having we can make this all go away in the name of justice.
Right?
Angle.
Right? It says in the name of justice.
Yeah, he says in the name of justice. And it has we're gonna work for the cops. So it has both those elements, and it honestly, I completely forgot about it, but it really, even though getting the crew together is pretty much just two people.
No, the great part about this movie is it has the third guy with the black police chief or whatever, just sitting watching out shit with popcorn.
Yeah. Like,
so
don't get involved.
Exactly.
So I really like that about the beginning, and I think that the beginning. So that's pretty much the second part, because the first part is the Ludacris song, Act the Fool, right? And then it has the street race with Michael Ealy in it.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and that title card with the phew, and it becomes
I completely forgot about that until that actually came on screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is how you begin a movie.
So It has that, and then it has the
race.
Getting the crew together. So the race, and then the getting the crew together part. And then that leads right into the FBI intro, like the FBI cars when they like remove the cars off the thing, and you meet Eva Mendes, right? That whole sequence, great. It's so great.
Fantastic. It's so much fun. It's like action, and then you get a little bit of story building, and it's all of the getting the crew together part, and then you meet the hot shit. It's perfect beginning to a perfect movie to a goddamn millennial
classic. I think it goes downhill from there.
Oh my God. Before we start talking about the negative, so you're saying that entire sequence is your favorite part? Like,
so
you
those
love
3 sequences, the opening race with the Act the Fool song, right? And then it goes into the getting the crew together. He gets busted, and then he gets the crew together, gets Tyrese, right? And then it goes from there to the FBI makes it car. They reveal the car, and a new song comes on.
All of that.
And then they meet.
Can we talk about that race in the opening, the beginning race, and like the very, very first scene? Because that's what I remembered. Obviously, I remember the car driving over. Like when we said Too Fast, Too Furious, I was like, yes, he has the skylight and he's jumping over Michael Easley, right? Like I remember, whatever his name is.
You put.
But when I was watching that movie, the blatant. Like
CGI.
all of it, like you see the even if it
looks like a PlayStation 2 is running the
I mean, it looked great at the time.
Exactly.
Yes, it did. Compared to the Mummy 2 and the Scorpion King, they were just complaining.
So, which by the way, we need to do one of the Mummies as a classic. But even though it looked so shitty, you believed it. All of the acting was fantastic, and I have to say,
no, the girl, the Asian woman,
she
had the worst lines.
She did have the worst lines throughout the whole movie. She had really bad lines. She was so bad.
Driver's license and couldn't drive. They started filming the movie.
Is that a fact? Is that a fact? Oh, that's hilarious. But I did want to talk about, since you guys brought up the Asian thing, the attempt in the movie.
Brought up the Asian thing. I think you're putting a lot on me that I did.
Look. Like nowadays we talk about diversity and all this stuff, and obviously the main characters are a black guy and a white guy. But that opening scene, the disgusting
is hilarious.
the
sexist Hispanic guy, you like him?
I'm saying the stereotypes in the beginning of that movie. The Asian girl has an anime character, has a dashboard. The Hispanic dude, right? Like you said, he's speaking Spanish the whole time. He's sexist, right? The black dude needs to win to pay his rent.
You think you're gonna win, baby?
What you think?
You better. We got rent to pay.
I know this.
No, but not even that. All right, so this is Miami.
Bro.
Okay? This is Miami. So
and not only can he not pay his rent, but he's dropping 35 large.
So that's my point. This is Miami, right? In the early 2000s. Rent is what? $2,000 a month? Right?
Oh, yes.
Like if you can't afford $2,000 a month on rent, but you can't afford to drop 35 large on a race, this makes no sense.
It's the Miami lifestyle, bro. And the worst thing of the worst thing, right? The cool cat, young, white ex-cop comes and he beats everybody and he's slick. The stereotypes in this movie.
That until later is this man lives in right next to Ludacris's garage.
Right?
When he says get here in 4 minutes, the man is just down the street.
It's not like he has to run out and race over there. But yeah, no, obviously, like that was the first thing I thought about. I mean, it was some of my favorite parts is the beginning of that movie, and I think the beginning of that
also a great entrance by Paul Walker.
Oh yeah, the skyline.
Yeah, coming, and it breathes that it hisses like I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah. And I was so I have a couple questions because when I was a kid first watching this movie, I legit thought this shit happens like. If you go to Miami and you just happen to be walking around at midnight, you'll just happen upon like streets closed and there's a street race and shit.
Yeah, okay.
But clearly this doesn't happen in real life.
Obviously.
Right?
Yeah.
But I had a question. So if you are there to just watch, what are you watching? You're watching them leave?
You're watching them start.
And then you have to jog over to the finish line.
The finish line should be the same place.
Finish line are the same place.
No, it's not because they don't
Yes,
cross
it
the
is.
bridge when they leave. You see
they
Ludacris.
can't go around in a square and come
You
back.
see Ludacris walk. You see them all walking from somewhere.
Murray, get the fuck
Okay,
out
so
of here.
no, I got this one. I got this.
Please.
So they're starting, they face this way. When they're finishing, they watch it come from this direction, not having moved at all.
So it's still the same problem. So they're only watching them leave, and then they're watching them come back. That's not watching the race.
But Murray, you do also have to understand in the beginning of that movie, while Paul Walker was coming there, people would put, check out my sound system. No, my sound system. So it was obviously
flex the front, show your cars.
Exactly.
The ladies out Miami.
Because what happens in real life is the beginning part of that race. It's like all of that without the race. People get together, they show off their nice cars. So that's what mainly happens.
Yeah, you can do that in the parking lot at Target.
Of course you can.
Yeah,
but if you want to race... Wait, but why are you being so salty to this movie? What the fuck are we nitpicking? Talk about nitpicking.
No. And then I have one more question. Sorting.
What?
Right? You. This is your baby. You got a car. You're in the street race. You're the fifth guy.
Yes.
You're driving. You put 35 larger in this race. All of a sudden, you see a bridge open up. Are you going for it or are you pulling out?
I'm doing what the Spanish dude said. It said, "Get the fuck out." Are you serious? Did you see the Asian chick's car? Yeah, I didn't think she was gonna make the jump.
Yeah, she wouldn't have gone for it.
Well, in when they did film it, it did destroy all 4 rims of Paul Walker's car.
I'm not surprised, bro. That's insane. You don't make that jump. In real life, that jump is your life.
In real life, that jump is a foot off the ground. Like, in real life, they just lift the bridge up, like, maybe 3 feet. Yeah, they lifted it up a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Actually, Tej just did that because he knows they're going to be fixing the car at his garage.
Yo, Tej thinks he's about his money.
Yo, can we talk about how Ludacris went from owning a garage to then in Fast 5 getting bank vaults delivered to Rio? I mean, let's just think about the logistics right there. Like getting a bank vault from wherever the fuck in the world to Rio.
Yo, I'm telling you, if you just follow the storylines of any of these characters throughout the movies, they literally start off as like an ex-cop and some bum off the street who drug deals and drives nice cars to running the CIA.
Whoa, did you just turn Tyrese into a drug dealer?
He said
he was living in a trailer.
Whatever you do.
No, he stole rims, bro. He's not a drug dealer. That's kind of racist.
You're insane.
You're insane. But no, I mean, it's crazy what people will believe when it comes to these movies.
Can I actually change my favorite scene in the movie?
Of course.
It's not the SATs. Just go on.
Should I raise my hand? I'm actually gonna change it to the. I completely forgot about this. We just watched it, but the club scene, and when they go meet Verone, and
it's insane because I feel like it's so easy to make a club scene fun and like and hot and popping. This club scene, I lived
so many things that are hilarious in this scene.
What?
Like the entire time that Paul Walker, Tyrese, and this chick are talking, there's this dude just in the background, like grinding on this chick, doing the same 1-2 steps. And then there's another dude, like 3 feet to the right, wearing like a Prince blouse from Chappelle's Show. And everybody's in all white.
That's Miami.
Yo, look, listen. To those listening, I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry about this because that's insane. Mabunga, do you really want the podcast listeners to try to remember the club scene in Too Fast, Too Furious and not think about the main characters, but the dude dancing in the background?
Dude, because I can't look at any. It's like right in between both characters. So the only thing I can look at is this dude grinding on this chick.
Yes, no. But I'm happy you brought that up. I really am because I'm just gonna go down the list. I know Mulberry is eager here to start trash talking this movie. Let me go down the list.
I'm not eager. I like most of the movie. There's just some clear holes.
Go down because Mabunga is right. There are some epic scenes. So let me just quickly, let me run down this list. All right, and then you guys can jump in right after. The Stare and Drive with Brian and Eva Mendes. The Stare and Drive. That scene is epic. absolutely epic.
It's
When
iconic.
Dr-
Everybody
yes,
wants to do that.
of course, I wanted to do that until I crashed my
That's
car.
what Aziz did, right? Is that what Aziz did?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
You're insane. You don't believe I'll stop?
I think you need to stop and frisk.
All right, stop. Let me go down this list.
He did the stare and drive on you, didn't he? He got that from me.
When Brian is driving backwards in the highway after Tyrese gives him the finger, fantastic. Like the Jamaican dude in the middle of the street when they drive by him.
No,
It's
that's Lil
Haiti,
That's
bro.
Lil Haiti.
I'm sorry, the Asian dude in the middle of the street when Tyrese says, "We hungry."
Make it 100 G's a piece, Poppy. Like I said, we hungry.
Amazing.
Oh.
First of all, we can go into all of Tyrese's funny lines in this movie, but continue.
Yes, when Rome takes the cop's lunch, and then he says, "Hey, that's my lunch," and he says, "So?"
That's mine. So?
Amazing.
How about when they're walking out and Paul Walker is like, listen, cuz.
It's
Forget about
horrible. And then the entire pink slip race. And can I just ask you guys to remember a scene? And this is a scene just like
I know exactly
Mumbunga,
what you're talking
just like Mumbunga was telling.
What you talking about? Everybody win them cars. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bro, I was watching this movie. When they finally win those cars, those dudes are posing in the middle.
Yeah. First off, if you're with those dudes, right? If you're a woman and you're with those dudes and they like it's not even if like a woman man shit. If I'm with a friend and he bets his car and I have to take the bus home,
Yo, Uber did not exist.
I'm
Right?
so
What does Tyrese say? Toward it.
I don't remember what he said, bro. But
Using bus tokens, partner. Greatest
That's-
line of the movie.
greatest, bro. I'm telling you, this movie has some epic. Mumburi, there is zero opportunity for you to say that this is not a classic. There's just, you cannot. I'm sorry. All right, let's go back to the script. Mumburi, who was your MVP and your LVP? Give us both, because I feel like we're just getting distracted now. Both
Yeah,
your
we are.
MVP and your LVP.
you screaming lines from the movie at this point.
That's how you know it's a good movie.
That's right.
So I have two LVPs, and I got a lot to talk about both of them. But the MVP for me is Paul Walker.
Oh my God.
That's
I think he holds like Tyrese just has to like be the loud, obnoxious guy in this movie. Paul Walker actually has to move this movie forward.
Oh Jesus Christ.
I mean, Paul Walker's good, but he doesn't burn as brightly as Tyrese.
You'll get your chance for Buck. Let the man finish. All right. So Paul Walker's your MVP.
Paul Walker's
feel that's
MVP.
fair. Of course, it's fair. He's the main
He's
character.
also
It's fair.
I think he's the best actor in this movie.
We'll get to that argument when we get to that argument.
So
and then your two LVPs.
so I have
How
two.
do you have two?
Who's Eva Mendes is a hardcore LVP in this movie.
You think so?
Feels like they cut some of her scenes.
She literally just stands there and stares for half the movie, and all she'd show in the beginning, she doesn't even get to intro the operation. Like they do that beforehand. She just shows up and goes, "You told them stuff," and they're like,
Right.
"Yeah," and then that's it. And then she leaves, and
I
then
like that because it keeps the movie going.
she doesn't. You don't actually see
Jesus
her
Christ.
doing anything, and then she shows up, and then like at his houseboat, like
Right.
minutes before everyone else, which means she left the house, and then everyone else like was also ready to leave the house, and they got to the houseboat at the same time. Really?
Also,
No.
I think it's implied that she swam up to the hospital because she's like ripping wet.
Exactly.
So-
It's insane. It's insane.
So you don't actually see her do anything besides warn him at the very end. And I mean, for such like a pivotal character that's been on the inside, like I would kill for a scene where like in the undercover movies where there's
Yeah.
always a scene where they like wake up in the middle of the night and everyone's sleeping, and she sneaks off to like copy a hard drive or steal a file in the file cabinet.
Yes. No. I hear you.
And then like obviously there's like someone's awake and she has to like pretend like she's making coffee or something. Yeah, like something like that. But she didn't do any of that. She just suntans and then looks like holds some dude's mouth open in the club. So
that's a really good point. She's just a pretty face. She's just a pretty face in the movie, which is shitty to say because she's really pretty.
Yeah, but she can act. So
she really can.
Give her something to do.
Give her something, or get rid of the character.
She was in Training Day 2 years before this. So
that's some good input on that one.
no, but okay. And
then I have another LVP.
Oh Jesus, I forgot. Go ahead.
This is even bigger. This is an even bigger problem for the movie. Yo, Cole Hauser as Carter Verone is such a bad guy that you're just like, at least get away. At least let him get away.
Did you really think he was that bad?
He has no iconic scenes.
One good Fast and Furious.
The Rock
right now. The Rock is not a bad guy.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
Okay.
Listen,
Jason Statham is a good bad guy, but if what's his name in the movie? Vince Carone.
Carter Verone.
Yeah, you must be dyslexic.
Listen.
No, but if Carter Verone, because in the movie at the end when he's like, I'll see you soon. If he comes back in like Fast 10, I'd believe it.
You'd be like, why did they bring this dude back, dude?
Bro,
first off,
he said he's gotta get out of jail.
Exactly.
But no one wants this dude back. That's a problem. And let me tell you. He's not a good actor. I also think he's too young. I think if you're doing this, right, he's also too good looking. I think you got to make him a sleazebag, older Miami dude. That's disgusting. I think you do
he did slap her ass.
Yeah. So but you're like, oh, they're like a couple, because they both are the same age and they're both good looking. If you make him like Al Pacino. And he's like old, wrinkles, and he's smacking her ass. You're like, oh, this is
right. That's a very fair point. Look, no. So look.
Fits in Miami. There's lots of old people in Miami, and it actually makes sense that he runs a drug operation.
Slating the whole city of Miami,
right?
You obviously didn't watch the club scene close enough.
It makes sense as the head of the drug operation if he's an old dude. Also, Al Pacino's my second choice. My first choice would be a fat Paul Giamatti.
Oh. God.
That is a great choice.
I feel like if you put Paul Giamatti in this movie, he actually has some scenes where you actually hate this dude.
When was this? 2003?
Yeah.
2003.
I can see Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, he'd be a great one. But
I saw Gary Oldman
you'd have
too.
to tear him up. So I agree.
Why? He doesn't actually do anything.
Okay, all right.
He had one good scene.
His henchmen do everything.
He had one good scene when he was waving from the boat. As they were driving
by. But that first
he couldn't even hold the shotgun up without it shaking.
He really was. Bro, he was too skinny to hold that shotgun. Give the dude a smaller gun. The dude looks like a little child.
So if you're just gonna have a guy, my point is, if you're just gonna have a guy cut cigarettes and use cigars, cut cigars, and then look menacing by poolside and by oceanside. And then make threats. You could have gotten someone with more gravitas and older and all that stuff.
I see what you're saying. They should have gotten either way. Someone either cooler than this dude or someone more sleazy.
To fight Paul Walker and stuff.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I hear you. Because, and that's the thing. And because he was so young, when I was watching the movie, like first time, like expecting an ending, I really thought because he was so young, they might be a fist fight or something at the end, but they really was just one shot in the shoulder in this motherfucker. But also,
his funniest scene though is when in the club, Paul Walker is just talking to Eva Mendes. They're both undercover. They're both supposed to be keeping their cover, and they're both supposed to be low key. Immediately, Tyrese just walks in the scene, looks around, walks up to them and goes, he's looking at you. And then the camera turns and this dude is just standing up in the middle of the VIP section, staring right at him, maybe 20 feet away. And you're like, how did they not see him? It's like
that club scene is iconic.
Okay, iconic is so much of a stretch, but that club scene is actually good, right? And especially the end with the rat, which fucks you up. But that club scene is really good. Really,
Actually, the rat part.
that's a real bad guy
I
move,
fact checked.
bro.
I fact checked. Rats cannot choose to steal, or whatever the fuck he said.
Right, and so that rat part.
Of course they can.
Where do you think you pick up rat interrogation techniques?
Right?
Yeah, so assuming we're assuming this guy's like Hispanic, right? Based on the Verone part. So
Bugger, please don't continue that sentence.
You
Please
stop talking.
don't get us in trouble here. It's too soon. Too soon.
Yeah,
too
I already feel bad about that Aziz joke.
Oh Jesus. Okay, Mumbunga. So I already know who your MVP is. We've talked bravely, so we both agree. Let's just put it out there that Tyrese MVP of the movie. But I want to know who's your LVP. Is it the bad guy? Did you see someone else? Like, who's your LVP?
Oh, my LVP is easy. It's you know that guy that we're driving against, like in the trial, and then for the pink slips.
Oh yeah.
50.
Oh yeah, those drivers were way too old.
They were way too old.
They have grandchildren.
I feel like it could have gotten anybody else.
Yeah, those guys have grandchildren.
Yo, Bugger really loves this movie to pick a character that has two lines as the LVP. And literally the only person in this movie who talks once.
It's like, yo, you know who's the LVP of the Avengers?
It's not just that. Plus, they came in wearing some janky ass shit.
I'm telling you, they're little grandfathers.
They really are. They really are. But I would have to say so for my LVP was definitely the bad, like not the black FBI agent, the white FBI agent. He was just
he was killing it. Which one
he was killing it. Just the white FBI agent played it up so
customs,
much,
right? That was the customs agent.
I don't whatever he was, bro, but he played it up so much. Like he was just.
He was a really bad
cop. For an
cop.
Oscar.
Yeah, he was trying to do the right thing, but he was yelling and screaming at every minute of every second. Like
2 minutes,
general. Like I'm like, relax, bro. Relax. And they like at the end where he's like, yeah, we're gonna go there and get the money. And then they was like, and keep us safe. He was like, whatever. What the fuck are you talking about? What?
My life is on the line.
Right? Like, what are you talking about?
Also, if Tyrese tells me he's giving me all the money, and then I stare at him, and then he rips out 3 more bags of money, I'm searching him.
Exactly. Of course you are. Pockets ain't empty. I love it. I
ain't hungry no more, cuz.
Okay, back to the script. How big of a movie, a piece of entertainment was this at the time when this came out? 2003, June. That summer of 2003. How big of an event was Too Fast, Too Furious? Let's start with you, Mumbugger. Did you feel like it affected the culture, or was it just a movie?
At the time, I didn't really appreciate it for what it was.
Yes.
I mean, this movie did not have Vin Diesel.
It really did. Yeah, exactly.
Because it was on XXX. So it was kind of it was different, but
But can I ask you?
Can I ask you this? At the time when it came out?
So can I ask you this? Obviously, no one knew that Fast and Furious would become what it is today. Did you even expect Too Fast, Too Furious? Did you expect a third?
Well, the first one made 200 million. This one also made 200 million.
Yeah,
the first two was the second one did better than the first.
Yes,
it was really the third one that put the whole Fast and Furious into doubt.
And I remember being hyped for the third one because the trailer came out and it was like, wow, they're in Tokyo. Wow. There's going to be a drift. There's going to be drifting, and this was also during peak drifting. Like early internet, so you'd see like videos of Arabian drifters, Middle East, Saudi Arabian drifters.
Yeah, people on 2 wheels.
Yeah, and then drifters in Japan, and they had that do.
Yeah, that song was crazy, bro. Yeah.
So
it was drift.
And then the movie turned out so bad. So
are you saying that Tokyo Drift was meant more at the time when it came out than Too Fast, Too Furious?
I think it had more hype behind it than Too Fast, Too Furious.
Okay.
Yeah, because Too Fast and Furious was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah, I I feel like I'm biased based on like what I'm surrounded by because my brother was obsessed with cars, and like I keep saying that this movie had the most cars in it.
What do you,
Like
what do you
it was
drive?
all, huh?
What do you drive for the people?
My brother, who is in love with cars,
No.
drives a
What do
BMW.
you drive?
Don't worry about what I drive. I
Motherfucker,
call
what
her
do you
so-
drive?
I'm driving around in nothing but good, clean drive.
Ubers, taxis.
I'm saving the environment.
Yeah, no. So, but what I'm saying is, my brother loved this movie. Like, we had toy cars everywhere, Hot Wheels.
We should have had him in the podcast.
But he loved Too Fast and Furious. He also loved the entire Fast and Furious. Like, he's a car guy. He's an engineer. That's his life. That's his life. He loves this stuff, right?
Can I just say what was in theaters while Too Fast and Too Furious came out?
Hit me.
Yeah, Finding Nemo, Bruce Almighty, The Italian Job, The Matrix Reloaded, Daddy Daycare, X-Men 2.
Wow. So all better movies, pretty much.
Shut the hell. Stop.
Wrong with you?
Stop.
I mean, X-Men 2 was iconic.
Okay.
Finding Nemo.
Iconic. So all of these movies are gonna have an episode on them.
That was
The
those movies are all in theaters at the same time.
Yeah, this is a bad time.
it's
And
bad
Too Fast and
timing.
Furious topped that weekend.
That's how good of a movie it was. Mumburi Makaya. Talk about it if this is a classic or not. You must be out of your goddamn mind. Your goddamn mind.
Shit.
All right.
I think the people will agree with me. Listen, so I had a question because so Vin Diesel turned down $25 million to do this movie. Right?
That's a lot of money.
Before this, he had done Boiler Room, Pitch Black, and Fast and Furious.
What are your sources on that 25 mil?
The same as your sources. IMDb.
The same source that got him wrong.
Yeah.
So, but I have to say, I think this movie is way more fun without Vin Diesel.
Yes.
And I think that Vin
Yes.
Diesel for the Fast franchise is kind of like Kawhi on the Raptors.
Nah, he's more like Robert.
He's not a fun guy. Vin
No,
Diesel.
he really isn't.
He might be the MVP and he might carry the movie in points, but he's not a fun guy. And I think the movie without him is way lighter because this dude just grumbles and yells about family a lot. And I think people like that, but the best movies with him in it have a lot of other people to make all the jokes that
Tyrese.
this dude doesn't have. And Paul Walker is way better at playing with those jokes than Vin Diesel is. So I think that if this movie had Vin Diesel and Tyrese, it's a way worse movie.
Not a better driver.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. No, yeah. Brian and Tyrese, Rome, and yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I agree with you guys 100%.
Could you imagine Vin Diesel's character having Toretto having friends that he like hangs out with outside the family?
that was
I mean,
that was the
That's
entire
the first
point
movie.
of the first movie. Literally,
the first movie. It was with him and his friends.
Jesus
Outside his
Christ.
family.
no, those are all his familia. Those are all his family.
Mumbucket, can we
They're
both agree
friends
that
and
that's
family.
what do you
Vin Diesel is not friends with Rome in this franchise.
Yes, he is.
No, he hates him, dude. This is the friend of a friend that you just tolerate because your best
I
friend.
can understand The Rock hating Tyrese.
At least The Rock has quips. Vin Diesel just grumbles and drinks Coronas through his hand.
No, he really does. He really does do that.
That's why The
But
Rock hate more.
okay, so now since we're talking about the future of Fast and Furious, the ultimate question: which one is your guys' favorite?
Fast
Favorite
Five is the best movie out of the whole series.
You guys both agree? Fast Five.
It has getting the gang together,
Mm-hmm.
and then it also has kind of working with the police to get the bad guy.
And it has The Rock at his best.
Yeah.
And this is in Rio. They steal the vault. They driving down.
There's lotion. There's olive oil. There's
Why is there olive oil?
Why do I smell baby oil?
What do you do to that olive oil in Rio?
I don't know, bro. That's The Rock. But this is like that movie is the better version of this movie.
Okay, so give me like a quick ranking. Like you don't need to put like, but where does Too Fast, Too Furious in the ranking? So you guys both have Fast Five at the top. Where does the other one end
Fast
up?
5, Too Fast, Too Furious.
That
Who's
is-
making
that is
this
a-
ranking?
You make it.
Thank
and
you.
then we'll burn it.
Fast
After.
5, Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious, Fast 7, Fast and Furious 4, Fast 6, Fast 8.
Wow. You really don't like
You didn't even
Fast
rank. You didn't even rank
I'm
Fast
gonna
3.
go take a shit. Fast 3.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yo, all right, okay. So you have Too Fast, Too Furious, and your top two. So it's your number. So your favorite, second favorite, Mumbari. Where does
not 3?
Mumbari, where do you have Too Fast, Too Furious?
It is probably 4th. If all these movies are playing on TNT, and I gotta watch one of them, it goes Fast 5, then Fast 7, then Fast 6, Fast 6, then Fast 1, then Fast 2, then Fast 4, then Fast 3.
So Fast 3 is your worst for you.
Yeah, but it's iconic.
I can't deal with this man though.
Right, like this dude is insane. He was trying
It's
to
the
get
worst movie.
but it's iconic, and he was trying to get us to do that instead of this. Well, Murray,
I can
all right.
almost defend that better than I can defend this movie. Because the thing with that movie is it's kind of contained and it tries something different. This movie, there's better versions of this movie in the Fast franchise, whereas Fast 3 kind of tries its own thing. It's about a kid trying to fit into high school and learn a new culture. And this movie, Fast 5 does everything this movie does 10 times better.
Is this
different from Fast 2?
Right? No, okay, wait. Mumbari, is Too Fast, Too Furious better than Fast and the Furious?
The first one, yes.
No.
You really don't think so?
No.
It improves.
And that's not just because I don't like Asians. I'm joking. No, but the bad guys in the first one, way more realistic than Cole Hauser in the Miami house.
Did they actually get a good actor?
They got a good actor. I like those guys. I'm not going to guess that dude's name. I'm not going to guess his name. But way better.
It's a dude from Die Another Day.
Yeah, he's good. I like him a lot.
Wow. We're really split on this because yeah. So I have Too Fast, Too Furious. Like Too Fast, Too Furious is what I think about when I think of Fast and the Furious franchise. So like it is definitely my favorite, by far my favorite.
Did you win the toy in the McDonald's or something?
Stop it! Get the fuck out of here! Can I speak my mind, please?
Speak your mind.
So yes. So I think of Too Fast and Furious as the best one in the series. Mumbunga has it as second. Mumburi has it in like bottom 3. Like this is one of them situations where I definitely do want feedback. If you guys are out there listening, let us know. Comments. Let us know who is right. Is Too Fast, Too Furious a classic? And then final question of the day.
I got 2 points.
Hit us with your 2 points before we end this.
So first point.
Swing the voters.
Shout out to Tyrese. Tyrese's greatness.
He really is.
I'm sure this was his decision. I don't even I didn't fact this at all. But the fact that he has the answer wristband during the movie just blows my mind.
He had a wristband.
Every time he shifts, it says the answer.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you noticed that. I literally just watched it. I did not notice it once, not a single time.
And then the second point is he's talking to Paul Walker when he first gets down to Miami. You know, Tension's throwing this huge party. There's baddies here, baddies there. There's C-Dudes going 3. I'm sure DJ Khaled is floating the water somewhere. But he turns to him and he says, "Man, it's so hot. I can't wear no drawers." And then Paul Walker goes, "Yeah, I know, cut." So my question is, they spend the entire movie in Miami not wearing underwear?
Of course.
Like that makes the difficulty of this movie up a whole nother level.
You hear this, Murray? We're bringing facts.
It's the little things. It's the details,
about
that really elevate this film.
Yeah, I mean, this is method acting. Don't you like that, Murray? The method acting.
This movie would be better if they if they literally took Johnny Tapia from Bad Boys 2 and just brought him over to this movie and had him be the bad guy too.
That is a great point. Just so you know, Swardick, this movie was filmed at the same time in the same location as Bad Boys 2.
Was it really?
Uh-huh.
That is a really fun fact.
And Bad Boys 2 is a better movie.
I mean, Bad Boys 2 is all-time great movie.
Yeah. You can't. I would argue with that, but I won't argue with it being bottom 3 of the Fast and Furious franchise. Final question of the day. Before we say goodbye to y'all. This movie comes out today. They make a new Fast and the Furious, and it's basically a remake of Too Fast and Furious, the one after Hobbs and Shaw, right?
Yep.
Can this movie come out today with all the focus on the driving and the cars? Can this buddy ex-cop, let's become friends again, cars racing movie come out today and make as big of a splash, or a splash the one it did and back in 2003?
No.
Of course.
Well, Paul Walker's dead, so obviously.
Rest in peace to that tree.
Right? It's crazy that he died.
I wasn't. First off, don't pencil me with him because I wasn't actually joking. Paul Walker is dead.
Thank you for letting us know that, Mumbury Makaya.
And this movie can't be remade, dude.
He's saying with different actors, obviously.
Obviously with different actors.
45-year-old Paul Walker in Miami.
Like, I don't even want to see that shit, right? So
of course, you know, the buddy cop buddy thing will always work so long as the leads have chemistry.
Right? And this movie had chemistry. I mean, they just had so much chemistry. It just worked.
I got a question for you. Who would you cast as a lead?
That's the thing. Role? See, that's what I was thinking about, right? Because I feel like Fast and Furious, the entire series has had just literally like the perfect duos, the perfect pair. And I hate to be that guy in 2019, but I would love to see a lady. I would love to see a lady in the driver's seat kicking some serious ass. And I was thinking...
You say lady like you wear a fedora every day. A lady.
Isn't that chick in the movies? What's her name?
Michelle Rodriguez?
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, literally the star of the movie. Like, if there was a buddy cop, it would just be like, I don't know, like, and I haven't even thought about the person.
The black and white guy dynamic just works so well.
Of course it works well, but we've seen it, is my point. My point is we got to try something new. I don't know who I would cast.
So who? If you're going to pick one.
I'm trying to think. Who would be a great actress that could take care of, like, a Tyrese type sidekick? And by the way, just like when you mentioned Four Brothers, like, I'm trying to think of all of Tyrese's great movies. He's not meant to be the lead. No. Like, him as a sidekick.
You almost say he's not meant to be an actor. The best thing he's put out in the past decade is him crying on Instagram.
It's phenomenal.
His Instagram is
best work.
Should have got nominated for that.
I mean, that was some serious acting. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I'd like to see, like, I feel like if they're gonna recast
like John Boyega and
Aquafina.
Who's Aquafina?
Yeah, no one knows who that is.
She was in Ocean's 8. She was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
I've never seen any of those movies.
I know, but you could have like a Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx has chemistry with everybody. He could be
like
I know, like a young.
He was in Miami Vice.
Michael B. Jordan.
No,
but he's too.
Michael B. Jordan is too.
I want 2 sleazeballs. That's what I want.
He doesn't want a Killmonger type bad guy. He wants a sleazeball. He wants a sleaze.
I want a dude where, like, if he's at home on Thanksgiving with the family, you bring him with you to get
Cosby out of jail to be the villain.
Jesus Christ.
I'm always for that movie.
We went from sleazeball to hell.
Yo, that club scene becomes super iconic.
We just went off the rails.
Yeah,
Can we please say good night? Any added points? Oh wait, so Mumbury, did he persuade you into believing this is a classic?
No, this is an honorable mention for me.
This is an honorable mention for you. All right, so this is the first one in the series that one of us thinks is a classic. Mambunga, do you still believe, or did Mamburi sway you out of thinking this is a Millennial classic?
No, I still believe. I mean, Tyrese Paul Walker kill it.
The villain is
John
bad.
Singleton
Thank you for letting us know.
respects the hell out of this movie.
The villain,
Even Mendes is bad.
The villain is bad.
But you know,
Let me go down.
Defined by the villains.
Right.
It's always defined by, you know.
Even Mendes is also bad. Half of the main
Yeah.
characters are bad in this movie.
She's not bad. She's just not given enough. There's a difference.
So we know, Mamburi, we know you don't like it. I definitely still think that this is a Millennial classic. I am very happy. I did not know that Mamburi didn't think this was a Millennial classic, so I'm really happy that you came on, Mambunga. We should most definitely do this again. The next time we do a Will Smith movie.
Yo, that was too.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all later. Catch us again next week. Too Fast, Too Furious. Is it a Millennial classic? Let us know in the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe. Catch y'all later. Deuces.